everybody. I wanted to share with you today a mixed media Prima Doll tag that I had done, as well as the coordinating box. I believe it was Bona that maybe started this whole box thing for the tags. When I saw her video, I thought that was just the coolest idea ever, and so I really wanted to try one. Because I did it mixed media style, the cardstock that I used probably wasn't the best in terms of the weight of it. I think if I went back and did it again, I would use a heavier weight, more of a watercolor paper for the box itself. But this time around I just used a sheet of cardstock that I'd had on hand. So we'll start with the box. So this is the box that I created. And you can see all that texture on there. So I made the box, and then I used this Prima stencil with my homemade texture paste, and I added the texture detail onto the box, and then I sprayed it with a bunch of my homemade mists to get the color to it. And then I did go back and just very lightly over the raised portions of it, I brushed it with some Hero Arts unicorn white pigment ink, just so it would give a little bit of that relief to get that to stand out. So I made the flower that's here. This is some chiffon fabric that I had gotten on sale. The flower center itself is actually a button. It's one of the Suology buttons from Hobby Lobby. And they're on special this week for 50% off. So they make great flower centers. They're really pretty. I had wrapped the whole box with some Ofre lace, as well as some of this trim. And I get this trim, I don't know if it's showing you real well. I get this trim at my work, and I'm not sure what the brand name is on it, but it's got a really pretty ribbon texture and almost kind of a lacy feel to it as well. So it's just really pretty. So that's the front side of the box. On the back side, I used a Stampin' Up! Flourish frame that I've had a package of these for a long time, and this is the first time I've used any of them. But they're really pretty. I used some Recollections brads that I've had for a really long time on the ends there. And then on the inside it's just a piece of cardstock, and I used one of the Heidi Swap stamp sets to stamp the Believe. And then the inside edge of the cardstock, and I'm not sure if it's picking up, I know there's a photo that'll show it at the end. I used my Wink Estella pen, and that glitter is really hard to catch on camera because it's very subtle, but it adds a really pretty touch to it. In person, it's just really gorgeous. So, and you can see here on the edge that my cardstock has warped just a little bit. That's what I meant when I said it. I don't think it was quite heavy enough for all the sprays and everything. So my tag is inside. And again, I used the same trim and lace as I used on the box to do the tassel for the tag. The tag itself is actually a piece of chipboard that I had cut. It's 8.5 inches tall and 3.5 inches wide. And then I had used the Tim Holtz Sissix mini Baroque die to cut the top of the tag. So you can see there. I just rolled that through my die cutting machine just part way, so it would cut just that portion of it. So then I painted the whole thing with gesso, and then I stamped over the top of that with a script stamp that I have. And then I added my texture paste again, and my sprays, and my unicorn ink, and just layered everything up. I used My Mind's Eye memorable paper, just a sheet of that on the background there, and I used Prima chalk ink around the edges and distress the edges with it. I added a doily that I got from work, the doll stamp, and I paper pieced her dress. I also paper pieced her crown. I had just covered the whole thing with gold embossing powder and then added the gemstones to it. Her sash is covered in that Wink of Stella, so it's really glittery and sparkly. And then I gave her a shawl that's just made out of some of the satin ribbon and some lace that I have in my stash. These flowers are both by Prima. This charm is a Charm Me, which I think I got at Hobby Lobby. And then the leaves are a Sissix die that I actually cut apart to put the leaves in different spots with the whole thing. So that's the front side of the tag. And then on the back, this wooden flourish is one that I've had forever. It's a Kaiser Craft, I know that. And then the butterflies came from a K & Company chipboard set that I had. I just inked the edges with Victorian velvet and then used some of the Michael's pearls from the dollar bins as the centers to it. So that's my tag and my box. They were really fun to create. They took a lot of time, mostly just drying time with the whole thing, but I think they turned out really, really pretty, and I really like them, and I hope you do too. So thank you for watching. Bye bye.